So, friendship and bonds are tested in this week's episode of Fate Kaleid. Now, before I begin the review, I actually want to talk about one quick thing. So, apparently last week, the last episode, last week when I did my review, a bunch of you Chibits told me that I missed a couple of things. For instance, there was a lot of foreshadowing in that episode. For instance, when I said that a little bit of it seemed like filler, I was told that a lot of that episode had so much foreshadowing. It was probably one of the best episodes when it comes into terms of foreshadowing in this series. Now, I don't know if this information is correct or not, but I heard a bunch of people tell me this, so I don't know, so please confirm this or not. But anyways, this episode, for the most part, it's good. Now, most likely you already know what I'm about to say, so I'm just going to get it out of the way before I can get into the good beef of this episode. The fan service. You all should know by now, if you stuck with me for quite a long time, you should know how I feel about fan service. I may love my Fate series, I may love, like, you know, Tight Moon, but I can't look past fan service. I just can't. The first little section of the fan service, the hot spring and all that, or the freaking bath, the spa, that was just pandering the audience. And then later on down the road, when you see Ren and them get into the bath, that's when, I guess, the fan service stopped. Technically, even though it was still fan service going on, pretty much the fan service stopped at that, and really the plot started moving. So, the plot didn't really start actually going in until about probably 5 to 6 minutes into the episode, or maybe 4 or 5, it's somewhere around in there. But either way, the first part of the episode, right at the first part, is just pretty much fan service, audience pandering. That's exactly what it is. And really, I like the fan service. The fan service looked nice, but it's useless, and I could really say I wish this episode would have done without, because I may like my Opie, and I may like looking at that, I don't like seeing that all the time in every fucking series, because I see it enough, so just hopefully we don't get to see enough of that. So anyways, enough with the fan service rant. I don't want to focus this entire review on that, so let's move on to the actual good stuff of this episode. Okay, so pretty much at the middle part of this episode, we find out that Illya wants to go back to her normal life. For instance, she no longer wants to be a magical girl. She wants to be a normal girl. She doesn't want to be affiliated with any magic or anything. So pretty much what this means is like she doesn't want to be with Miyu or anyone because she just wants to have a normal life. And so right here, that's when the bonds and friendship are tested, because you see Kuro get really upset when Illya makes that statement, because without Illya, you know, having this magic, for instance, without being a magical girl, without her meeting Ren and Miyu, this girl, Kuro, would never have existed. And so, pretty much her entire existence was wrapped around those events of her, you know, being made by Illya. So, that's a big thing out there. It's like, you know, your creator or your parents slapping you in the face and saying, I wish you never were born. That's exactly what Illya pretty much said to Kuro in that entire instance. So, it's really upsetting. It's kind of fucked up if you think about it like that. But I personally think that, you know, this is a good little character development episode. For instance, you're going to get to see the resolution between Miyu, Kuro, and Illya. For instance, from what I saw from the preview, right at the end of this episode, because I love that fucking ending song, there is a scene where you see Kuro and Miyu fighting it out, okay? That's exactly what I see in the preview. So I'm going to guess that next episode's going to have a lot of fighting, and the animation looked good from the preview from what I saw, and it's actually just going to probably focus on Kuro fitting in with the group. For instance, she's finally going to become an official member, or she might die, I don't know. So let's get back to this episode instead of talking about the preview. So, with this episode, we find out, and actually technically it's confirmed, which is really obvious at this moment. I mean, it was already obvious to begin with, but it's confirmed that Kuro is the Archer card. That's pretty much what was confirmed when we had that entire spa fan service. And honestly, that makes you think real quick, okay? Supposedly, if she is the card, and Ren has to take back the cards to the Magician Association or wherever she has to take them, and, you know, they need that card, Kuro might die or go back into the card. We don't technically know what would happen. So, to have all these cards collected, that means Kuro has to die. And for them to have her introduced as a character, this is going to be a tragedy if she does disappear, because she seems to be a very kind person. For instance, in this episode, she clearly wasn't really trying to be malicious to her until, you know, we saw Miyu attacking her. So, I mean, what we can get is that Kuro has her own goals. She may want to kill Illya, but I think there's more behind it than that, honestly. I think she's fearful because if she doesn't kill Illya, she might get put back into that card. Maybe the only reason why she can get put back into that card or turn into a card again is because of Illya. And that might be the entire reason why she was trying to kill her in the first place, because she's fearful of that. Now, overall, the episode was good. I enjoyed it. The animation was good, especially the fan service. Holy hell, the animation on that fan service freaking crazy. So, the episode, what would I rate it? So, it had good enjoyment value. The animation wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. And for the most part, it was entertaining. So, I want to give this a 7. A 7 out of 10, honestly. Because it's not the best thing I've seen all day, but it's definitely not the worst I've seen all day. And so, I think it, you know, an average rating of 7. That's a good, I think, rating for this episode. So anyways, everybody, tell me your thoughts. Honestly, did you enjoy this episode? Please let me know in the comments below. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe, and Chibi out.